Welcome back to Never Lost Outdoors. So this week we are starting off on a unfavorable note, I guess you could call it. I was recently involved in a bit of an accident in the van this past week, and it's done some damage. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So as you can see, the fender is definitely destroyed. Passenger side mirror destroyed. Both passenger side doors destroyed. Windows gone. Yep. Somehow it didn't damage this wheel and tire. That is electrical tape holding that blinker lens in. It cracked the grill up here at this top mount. Remangled the bumper, which was garbage before. I know some of you guys have seen that. So, yeah. Definitely did a bit of a number on it. Now you may be asking what happened. Well, I was driving down a 2-lane road, minding my own business, and a guy in front of me decides, very last second, that he needs to stop and make a left turn real fast with no turn signal, no warning, no nothing. And I hit the brakes. Quickly realized I wasn't going to get stopped before I got to him. So I looked ahead, there was a car coming. So I knew he wasn't going to turn yet because of that car. So I went around him, didn't want to hit the car head on, went to miss them too, went into a parking lot. I saw a field. I thought, I'll just get to the field, won't hit anything. Well, for those of you that don't know, a full-size work van does not handle like a sports car. So as I'm turning left to avoid everybody, it starts to go sideways. So I'm counter steering it, and as it comes back, now I'm pointing right at a telephone pole. Well, I didn't want to hit a telephone pole head on because the front of these vans are so short. If you hit a pole, that pole is going to be in the dash real fast. So I whipped it back a little to the left, but at that point it was too late. The front caught the pole, somehow it missed most of the door, and then caught the back doors. The only damage I really see to the front passenger door is right here. There's like a little dent, a little scrape, and then like right in here where it caught like the mirror, because the mirror here, like the bracket part's actually metal, so it actually pulled that out. So I kind of had to bend that back to straighten it out, but that little bit there, and yeah, this is definitely an annoying part because these windows completely exploded. So that was my temporary fix there. These doors were pushed in so far, it took like an hour to get this door open. I had to pop that out, get inside, pop the panel off from the inside, kick them, beat, pull, yeah, all kind of stuff. This inner latch part now is actually completely broke. I had to break it completely out of the door to even get these open. And then of course they wouldn't stay shut, so this was my temporary fix. Little like shed door clasp thing, whatever you want to call them. These doors were pretty rough anyway, but of course prying on them made the bottom separate. We're so rusty anyway. But yeah, it's really super annoying driving with no mirror. Also fairly certain it's illegal, so I haven't really been driving. I drove it home. But I did get to look at on Marketplace, and I cannot believe my luck, especially on this kind of a thing. This is the free Ford Explorer, by the way, we camped out of not too long ago. Yeah, I found some parts. 40 minutes from me. Most of these vans are white, but some of them aren't, so I figured there was a good chance of finding white. But yeah, that's both side doors in there. The front fender. What else? I think that's it. Doors. Well, I bought the mirror, and the guy said, take the whole door. I don't want the door. So paid mirror price, got the whole door, which I do not need. But I'm hoping to maybe rob the mirror off, put it on this door, because I don't feel like changing that out for 2 little dents. Once the mirror's on there, I don't think you'll see that part. Then maybe I can just put the other door back on Marketplace, maybe get 50 bucks back. I think I gave him a total of $170 for all that, which is pretty fair for all that. That's this whole front corner. So if I needed a door, that would be a very good deal. But I think for now, what I'm going to do is probably just do the mirror and the fender, because it's the worst. On the front here, maybe throw that stuff on here, kind of fix up that grill a little bit. He had a front bumper too, but I just didn't bring the right tools to get the bumper off with, because the bolts holding it in were bigger than the sockets that I had. But it's needed a front bumper for a while. It'll be fine for now. I'll make my way back out there and get that soon. These side doors are obviously not ideal, but I don't know if any of you knew this about these work vans. They don't have nuts and bolts in these hinges. They just have these pins, because the door hinge is welded to the door and this hinge is welded to the body. So the only way to get these out is to drive these pins out on the front door and the back door. And from what research I've done so far, it's very time consuming and it's a pain. A lot of people just cut them. I've seen people on videos use torches to heat these and get them out. I think my best bet is going to be to take a couple days worth of time, heat them up with a little torch, and then spray some lubricant of some sort in there. For any of you that work on vehicles around rust belt areas, you know the heat and spray trick works pretty well. Brake lines, stuff like that. Use the heat, it makes it expand. You spray it with the spray, and when it retracts and cools, it sucks that lubricant, WD-40, PB Blast, or whatever you're using back into it. Really penetrates deep down into there. I got a feeling this is going to take multiple heat and spray cycles. I don't really care to wreck these doors, obviously. They're mangled. I really don't want to wreck the other doors putting them back on. One thing I'll say about the new doors that I'm a fan of is they're just solid panels. There is no windows, because I don't need windows in the back. I don't really care to let light in. So that's windows I don't have to worry about breaking again. But yeah, we'll get to that. Hopefully by next week's video, those doors will be replaced. But it's drivable as is. Those trash bags flapping in the wind is super annoying. So maybe I'll throw a little more tape on there. But yeah, I say we dig out a couple parts. See if we can't get this thing back on the road slightly. All right, I got all the parts unloaded out of the Explorer here. Still impressed that I fit that, both side doors, and a full front passenger door in the back of that thing. Because, I mean, for those of you that know what a Ford Explorer looks like, there's not much room right there. But anyway, now to be expected, these parts aren't perfect. These were off of a 2000, I think it was like a 6. This is an 04. They hardly changed the body style of these for many, many years, which is nice. And most of them are white, like I mentioned, so that's super nice. As you can tell by the moss mildew situation, this thing had been sitting for many years. So luckily I didn't need mechanical parts, because mechanical parts don't like sitting around like that. But I'm hoping get that on there, take it to the car wash, blast all that off. Should be halfway decent. Oh, I didn't mention this part. This fender was shoved way back in here. I actually had to take a cut-off wheel in my grinder and grind that and pry this out to even get this door open, because that was shoved back so far. So I don't know exactly how easy it's going to be to remove this mangled fender, but we got bolts here, here, this little support brace thing, there. What else? There's a couple bolts to hold this piece of plastic on the bottom. And then they have these weird things here, if you can make out what that is. It's like a push pin, almost like a rivet. This part here is attached to the fender, if you can see that. And then to mount this to the body, they just have a tab and shove this weird thing through there. And you take a flat screwdriver and you just kind of pry on it, which kind of bends it, but that's the only way to get it out. But I can straighten that out, maybe knock that rivet out of there and put a nut and a bolt. Not sure on design, but yeah, let's start with the fender. Kind of crazy that little thin piece of metal even holds that on there, because you can see how easy that's bending just with me prying slightly with a flat screwdriver. And then we got two more down here just inside the door jamb. And that's finally off. Kind of push some of this back on this inner fender structure, so I might have to take a hammer to that and kind of pound it back out before I put the other fender back on. So I definitely had to bend all this back some, but hood should line up pretty good now. Got the door shutting just fine. See, other than being like mossy or whatever, like it come out from the underside of a ship, I think it looks pretty good. Now we're just gonna get that mirror on. Now we just got this little filler panel piece to put in. All right, ignore the bumper, but I got some zip ties in this stuff. Fender's nice and tight. Hood lines back up pretty nice. Antenna's back on and functional. Got a little dent there and stuff like that, but that gap's fine. That layer of plastic piece is back on there. So yeah, just that and the mirror, fender and mirror, made a huge difference. If that was washed, you really could barely tell anything happened until you get back here. It's enough progress for one day, I do believe. It looks only halfway totaled now, but now I can at least see backing up, and that tire's kind of covered again. This window situation is not ideal, but it's not supposed to rain tonight. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But other than that, I'm ready to go camping. Alright, so we've officially arrived at the store, and I believe I only need one thing. But we do have a package to open. This is just another Amazon package. So I highly doubt there's going to be a letter of any sort on the inside. Oh. This sounds interesting. I've never even heard of such a thing. Garage Beer BQ. Same company that makes the garage beer, like the limes I like. Amped up, made with garbage. Amped up, made with garage beer, not garbage. Barbecue sauce. It doesn't say anything about being spicy or anything. Let's not overthink this. If you like barbecue, like beer, turns out it's real barbecue sauce made with beer. A little bold, a little spicy. Great for burgers, ribs, hanging with friends, and anything else that gets better with beer. This is made by Rufus Teague, apparently. We just did the Rufus Teague, what, blazing hot, I think, and that stuff was good. So I have high hopes for this. I like the beer, I like the barbecue brand. Should be tasty. I already have a recipe planned for today that does not involve barbecue sauce, but we are going to use this soon. Actually, some smash burgers with some barbecue sauce and onions or something on there. That's sounding better and better. Yeah, maybe we'll do that next week. Stay tuned for that. We're definitely trying that soon. So whoever sent that in, thank you. Okay, I got to go in here and grab one thing, and we're off to camp. Well, we have arrived at camp in one piece. That's a plus. And I worked up quite a thirst today, standing right in that sun, fighting that van. Probably a couple good hours worth anyway. So I think it's about time for a tasty new beverage. Zero sugar Mountain Dew Baja Cabo Citrus Tropical Citrus Punch. Is this like a different Baja Blast, or is that what all the Baja Blasts are called? You tell me. I've heard that the Zero Sugar Baja Blast Mountain Dew is pretty tasty. I'm not even that big of a fan of Baja Blast. I don't think I'm going to love it, but we'll give it a shot. Thanks to Malang for hooking me up with this. Give it the old thumb gun treatment. Cheers. Not terrible, not amazing, Definitely has that zero sugar kind of vibe to it that I typically don't care for. Definitely better than the zero sugar Pepsi, sugar, cherry free, whatever I tried that time. But I would take zero sugar Dr. Pepper over that. 3.8 out of 10. Probably would never do it again. It's a little disappointing. I was hoping that'd be better than that. But that's all right. I was down to try something new. Ooh, delayed reaction on the burp there. So for whatever reason, I've been getting comments about people wanting to hear and see burps. Hey, I'm down. Whatever you guys want to see and hear, I'll do it for the most part. Only so much I can do on here, but yeah, typically for me, for whatever reason, when I do something like that, it's not like an immediate burp reaction like a lot of people get. Sometimes it's like 10, 15 minutes. Don't know why. Anyway, I will definitely end up finding another zero sugar soda down the road that I like as much as Dr. Pepper zero sugar, I would imagine. I don't know. I do know one thing. We gotta get a fire going because dinner should be pretty tasty. Kind of excited to try something different. And oh, I got a very different camp soda to try. I'm pretty excited about this one. Should be good. Well, the fire's been burning for a few minutes. It's not doing very well. I don't know why, mostly because there's no breeze, like at all. So, I'm pretty glad I'm in the shade. I feel like right in the sun with no breeze would be a little warmer than it is. Still nice. We are in a bit of a cool spell, I guess you could call it. Some would call it chilly. I personally find it kind of nice. It's kind of weird, like Sunday was the first day of summer, right? 21st, I think, Father's Day. And it's like as soon as that hit and summer was officially here, it just started immediately cooling down. I don't think it's been 78 before today. I think today was supposed to be like 80. I don't know. Today felt warmer, but I was also right in the sun. No wind, a little more humidity. So we're starting off the summer with some cool temperatures, but I'll take it. But I have a new camp soda to try, and it's a little odd, but I think it's going to be good. Grillo's Pickle Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's a real thing. That's not AI, fake. I mean, that's real. I don't know. Most people kind of look down on PBR. I'm not completely against it. I think it's just fine. Grillo's Pickles, they're pretty solid. So I'm thinking if I like camp sodas and I like pickles, this should be all right. Still sounds a little odd. I just took that right out of the cooler. It's way too cold, but I'm not gonna wait for it to warm up. So, gonna kind of punch a hole in this thing, see what it tastes like. Yep, smells way more like pickle than camp soda. Cheers. That's weird. Why does it have a hint of hairspray? Doesn't say anything on there about hairspray, but I taste it. But I kind of like it. I don't know. I didn't know I needed beer, chemical, and pickle all in one flavor. There's just weird little hints of good pickle taste in there, mixed in with that other stuff. I know what PBR tastes like, and it's not that. That's very subtle in there. I don't hate it. I'd do it again. You like pickles? You like PBR? I'd give it a shot. Not entirely sure why, but I'm gonna give that a 6.2. Still not sure why I like that. I'm confused. I feel like in all reality that should be in like the 4s, maybe. But I'd like to have another one. Yeah, big thanks to the Tom and Jamie Wallace family. They actually sent like 3 or 4. I will have some more of those. Well, it's getting a little later on in the evening now. Afternoon, evening, I don't know what you call this. It's like 6:30. But I've not eaten today. I think it's about time we whip up us a little campfire dinner. It's a little different, but it should be really easy. Should be pretty tasty. All right, we're definitely gonna need this. Going with a pot, cooking spray, drained can of chicken, garlic and onion powder. Now grab whatever hot sauce you like. I got some Cholula extra hot left. We're gonna make us up a buffalo sauce with that. Now just going with your butter of choice. I'm going with, I can't believe they call this butter light, because I'm watching my figure. Give it a good mix, and you've got buffalo chicken. Heat up that grande tortilla. Flip. Clarence Howell cod salad. Anyone remember this thing from years ago? Well, we're going to spice it up a little with this thing. I lost this and completely forgot I had it. I definitely should have worn gloves for this, because later I'm going to touch my eyes. Buffalo Cobb chicken quesadilla 1-chip challenge. I don't know what to call that. There's all kind of stuff in there. And that thing is loaded to the brim. That 1-chip challenge chip is at least 4 years old. Probably shouldn't be eating that, but you know I'm gonna. This is gonna be a complete disaster. See if it's any good. Tasty so far. Oh yeah, there's that stale chip. Definitely got it in that bite. Better go one more. That is just tasty. Really good buffalo chicken flavor. A little crisp from those onions. Stale crisp from that chip. Nice and cheesy. Yep, that's just a good chicken quesadilla. If you've never made one like that, I'd give it a shot. Maybe not the 1-chip challenge. Maybe it's lost a little heat over the years. That thing's just good. I do have a little tingle on the lips, a little tingle on the tongue. Not that shabby. I'm going back for more. I'm really glad I found that chip now. That gives that thing a very nice little kick. A big old wedge I'm saving for later. I put way too much chicken and lettuce. That thing was overstuffed. I need to keep my fingers away from my eyes, by the way. Should have done that. There were black spots all over my fingertips from crushing up that chip. Got some hand sanitizer and got it all off there, but with capsaicin, is that what it's called? That stuff sticks around on your fingertips for hours. In all reality, I should have used gloves for that. Didn't have any. I'm going to regret that later. I'm going to go finish that. I'll see you in a minute. Well, I've got updates. Pocky One Chip Champion Challenge 2020. That chip was not like 4 years old. It's like 6 years old. Well, dinner was tasty. I knew it would be. I'm really surprised it wasn't hotter than it is. I'm sure at some point that chip lost a little bit of its heat. And I didn't technically eat the whole chip. There's still some in that middle wedge. But still. I didn't know what else to do with that thing to kind of make something interesting. So I kind of looked at that chip at home for a few minutes and thought, what do I do with this thing at this point? Even though it's sealed, it was definitely still a little stale. But anyway, I am going to go over here. I'm going to pop a squat by that fire, not right next to it. It's still plenty warm out. But I'm going to relax a little bit. Kind of watch that sun go down, listen to the birds chirp. As you can imagine, it's been a pretty stressful week. Between this whole accident situation and looking for parts and working on the van and trying to make content and videos and all that. But there's a silver line to everything. No one got hurt except for the van, which material, don't care about that. My biggest thing was I don't want to hit anybody else. I don't know if I mentioned this part earlier, but whenever he locked his brakes up and I went to go around him, I tried to go to the right actually, but there was a drop straight down into someone's yard and there was a house there. And I'm not pointing a vehicle towards someone's house or children or cars. If I would have square hit that pole straight on, I still would have rather done that than hit anybody else. So in all reality, I'm going to call it a win. I mean, this thing was no showpiece before, right? Plenty of rust, plenty of paint flaking off. But the one good thing about these old Chevy vans is they are tough. I probably could have rolled that thing, pushed it back onto its tires, and kept driving it. Anyway, I'm going to go relax. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, time to get up. I'll tell you one thing, with the windows out and the insulation I had covering them, it gets pretty bright in here pretty quickly. And it got really warm in here. I should have used my fan. But I'm ready for a coffee. It'd be really nice if I could latch these doors from the inside, but luckily it didn't come open or anything through the night. But this here is not very convenient. So it'll be nice to get these doors replaced. Well, I pretty much have to get right on the road this morning, but I do have something in mind for lunch. But I know for now I could definitely go for a coffee. Went back and hit up the Sam's Club and got the 12-pack, I think they are, of these Java Monsters. You get 6 Loca Mocha, 6 Mean Bean. So it is nice to have these things on hand instead of having to run to a gas station and get them every time. Oh yeah. Nice humid morning, nice cold coffee. That is the spot. Got a little rain through the night, which I figured. Seems like it rains almost every day anymore. It didn't really affect anything in here with those trash bags covering those windows, but still fairly annoying. All right, got a few minutes of driving to do. I'll be right back with you. Well, there's a couple new things. I think you're looking way down for some reason. Maybe better. Anyway, yeah, I have the local BK. Apparently they got a couple new things. I thought I'd give them a shot. I personally don't think I remember these, but they say they had them before. A few different food reviewers said that these are better, old recipe, new, I don't know, different than the regular like nuggets. Same old squishy ground up chicken parts. In my area, an 8-piece of those was $3.50. Not terrible. I know a lot of you out there really love BK nuggets. I do not. They're never crispy. Those are mushy right now. Not very warm. And they just aren't amazing tasting. I don't know. There's just something about them I don't love, but I guess for tree fitty, it's not an awful deal. I would say with some sauce, they'd be a little better. I don't know, I give them a 5.5 out of 10. To me, chicken McNugs at McDonald's is better. And now we have not what I ordered. That's definitely not what I ordered. Bacon Swiss barbecue Whopper. No, I guess that's right. Bacon Swiss barbecue Whopper. I expected like barbecue sauce. That's like reddish, orange. I think there's like fried pickles on there. I don't know, sound interesting. I don't love Swiss cheese, but sometimes it's alright. But I do not mind me a Whopper every so often. It's not awful, but it's not amazing. I say this every single time I try some new fancier Whopper. A plain old Whopper with cheese and bacon is better. Just the OG does just fine on its own. I don't know if they made that wrong or maybe my taste buds are broken. Nothing about that says barbecue to me. But it says it right on there. $8.59 for that burger. So I'm not necessarily giving it away. Let's see if it was a double. The vegetables are fairly fresh-ish for BK. And that sauce is okay. Just does not taste like barbecue. Bacon, decent. I don't know. 6.1 out of 10. Well, you guys are crooked again. I don't know what's happening with this camera. I'm struggling this morning. But anyway, I believe I'm going to get on the road and get all the way home now. And start thinking about working on some more van here. As much as I'm not looking forward to fighting those pins and those hinges. And now it's raining again. That's perfect. Anyway, if you guys made it this far into this video, much appreciated. I know that watching me work on the van is probably not your ideal viewing pleasure in a YouTube video, but I really like to keep you guys in the loop with the van and what I'm doing and what I'm working on and all that kind of good stuff. But if you would like a deeper dive into my everyday life, make sure to head over to Patreon, because Patreon videos are commercial free and they're not censored at all. I think, I don't know, I'm sure you can't get on there and do anything too crazy. It is the internet after all. But I can get on there and I can listen to my own music and have more fun. So yeah, be sure to check that out if you'd like that behind the scenes situation. Check out the shorts and the reels and all that on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I still upload on there every day, a couple times a day typically. So I appreciate everybody going over there that's been watching those too. I see quite a few of the names here over there commenting. So yeah, the channel is growing for sure, and it can't be done without you guys. So thank you to each and every one of you that watch and like and comment and all that. Next week, I don't know what we're doing at all. Obviously, never do. Kind of live day by day. But I'm hoping by then to have these side doors fixed, because that's getting annoying. Now, I will say that those doors are nicer that are going on the side of this van. I'm trying to kind of look at it as a half glass half full. There we go. More optimistic. I used to be kind of a Debbie Downer at times, but anymore, it is what it is, you know. You can't really fight it or argue with it. What's done is done. So I'm gonna look at it this way. It could be worse. It could be much worse. No one got injured. Didn't hit a house, nothing. Just me, just the van. I didn't get a scratch on me. So take that as a win. And the side doors that I'm putting on there, I don't see any rust on those, and these are pretty rusty. I'd actually contemplated at one point replacing those side doors anyway. I thought, no, van's kind of rusty. It's basically putting a band-aid on the situation because the rest of it needs so much paint and work. But now I kind of have to. And there's no windows. I don't have to worry about breaking glass or putting up insulation over the glass or nothing. They're already white. I can literally just slap them on there, scrub them, and that fender clean. That fender's a better fender than the other one was on there too. There's a couple little dents I showed you there and stuff that you can't really get away with right now, but if they bother me that much later, I'll fix them, but I doubt it. So yeah, that's the plan with the van. I'd really wanted to spend the summer working on it, making it better, not just fixing problems. But sometimes you take one step forward and two back. That's kind of what we did here. But it still runs, drives, didn't affect anything mechanically, so again, I can't complain too much. But yeah, be sure to tune in next week. We'll do some camping. Got some more new hot sauces and camp sodas, and I've already got a recipe in mind for the garage barbecue as well. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.